buddy? Adriel? Okay, cool. All right. So, break with your left hand. With your left hand. Make it go this way. There you go. They got you. Good evening, Houston, and welcome to Monster Jam Trackside. Within this next hour, you get a preview of tonight's event, as well as get to know more about our competitors. My name is Aiden AD, one of 3 hosts for tonight's event, in which 12 Monster Jam superstars will be competing for the title of overall event champion. They will battle it out in 3 competitions: Monster Jam Racing, the Great Cliff Skills Challenge, and of course, Monster Jam Freestyle. Now, you Monster Jam fans will help play a pivotal role in help crowning our champions, and we will learn more about that later. But right now, I want to introduce to you my co-hosts, Kay Young and KCG. Here we are, ladies, on our last stop of our stadium tour for this year in Monster Jam. I'm ready for tonight's event, and I'm pretty sure these Monster Jam fans around me are ready for tonight's event. How about you, lady?
We're all here at NRG Stadium once again. You're going to be giving us all those crucial updates from behind the scenes.
That's right, Kay. While the superstars of Monster Jam compete out on the track, we have some very hardworking UNOH technicians that will be working in the back to make sure that every one of these trucks is ready for the competition. I'll also be hanging out in the back in the pits, and I will be bringing you breaking news as well as some of the biggest moments from tonight's Monster Jam.
Well, Casey, it's all the buzz is right behind us. It is the track. It is brand new, never seen before. So Houston really gets to put that history, that stamp on tonight, because we are debuting this track for the very first time. It kind of gives us some straight line racing. It gives us some berm racing. It gives us half of a figure 8. What are your thoughts on this track? I mean, we watched practice yesterday.
I mean, this is why the Monster Jam fans come to the October events, is because this is where we start trying new things for the 2024 season. Like you said, different components to the track. I was talking to some of the drivers before the event today, and they said that this track, when it comes to racing, it's kind of counterintuitive, because typically when you approach a turn in racing, you have 2 options. You can either hit the gas, go deep into the turn, carry that momentum all the way across the finish line, or you slow down, you take the corner nice and tight, and then you hit the gas on the way out. Most of the time you're faster when you carry that momentum through, but on this particular track, there's so many turns that actually yesterday, when the drivers were trying to cut the corners nice and tight, it was too slow. They were slowing down. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens out there. But one of my favorite parts of the track is the finish, the side-by-side finish. What do you think about that?
The finish is going to be, it's going to be epic. I think we saw it yesterday. We saw a couple tumbles there on the finish. I think they're going to have to finesse the finish. I think what's going to have to happen is that very far turn right here to my right. That is going to be the breaking point. That's where we're going to see the wins, the losses is going to be in that last turn. But I think also, in order to move on into the rounds of racing, they have to really finesse the landing. They're going to punch it. We all know they're going to punch it towards the end. They want to win. But I think it's going to be the landing. What do you think?
I completely agree with that. And I think it's such an exciting finish to watch the trucks actually finish side by side. And so the fans are really ready for some big action. I also think that this particular track, this is where we tend to see veteran drivers succeed, because they have so much experience with different tracks, different dirt, different setup, and because we have so much going on in this track, I think that that's where we're going to see our veterans start to succeed.
Well, let's talk a little bit about freestyle with this track. I mean, we've got the Great Cliff Skills Challenge, and I know there's a ton of different obstacles for our drivers to try to maneuver and go around, but freestyle, I think, if we can see all these trucks make it to freestyle, it's going to be epic. What are your thoughts on some of the hidden gems maybe behind us?
I think that this track is absolutely geared for big action freestyle, and part of it is because previously, the last 2 weekends, we ran a very technical track, and the drivers really had to check up. They had to watch that gas every single time that they were going up on one of those ramps. But for this track, there's so much open space. They can really let loose. They can get that big air. They can get that big momentum. And so I think that this is literally geared for big action when it comes to Monster Jam racing. What are your thoughts?
I think we are in for an epic night of Monster Jam action. I think we're going to see some big air. We're going to see probably some wow moments that hopefully can carry into the 2024 season that we might see as an award at Monster Jam World Finals next year, happening at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. So I'm excited for what's about to unfold. I know all these fans, for the very first time, you're about to witness a brand new Monster Jam track, but we have a lot more to talk about here. Stick around because more Monster Jam Trackside is coming up.
You know, that's a PE vest, that's a PE vest. That's why I love BKT tires. Whether you're working in the field or doing extreme sports like me, BKT tires are a winning formula. My BKTs are rough enough and tough enough to get me through any competition. When it comes to strength and power, nothing else compares. Take it from me.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer, so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life-taking, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
So it's game day, and you need to get your hair in shape. Enter Great Clips. Our skilled stylists save your haircut details and clip notes for the look you love almost as much as your team. We got you, and you got this. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Monster Jam fans, it's going to be a crazy night here in NRG Stadium, and your cell phone will be your best friend. Not only will you be using it to submit your scores in 2 out of the 3 competitions, but I know you're going to be taking a lot of videos and photos of tonight's event. Now, if you care to share on any of your social media platforms, I'm talking about X, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and any other social media platforms, make sure you use the hashtag Monster Jam, or you can add us as well, because you never know. You might see yourself up on the video board, not only for tonight's event, but to all Monster Jam events all over the world. So be part of the action, not only when judging the competitions, but be part of the action worldwide in the Monster Jam world.
Well, Casey, even though we're into the fall season and we're going to wrap things up here in November, on November 11th with Superstar Challenge, there's a lot of action still taking place, and I want to start off with Arlington, Texas. Last weekend, we invaded AT&T Stadium, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, and we had Adam Anderson and Gravedigger winning racing. We had Armando Castro, El Toro Loco winning the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and then we had son of the Diggers, Ryan Anderson, winning freestyle with along the overall event championship. But we had a different track. It is the only second time that we've seen the track that was in Arlington, and it was wild, freestyle, insane. I think you talked to Zach Gardner like 20 times in freestyle. What was that like last week?
It was an all-out battle when it came to Monster Jam freestyle, and you're right, we kept going back to Zach Gardner and Wildside because he was second in the freestyle lineup, and he held on to that lead all the way through 9 trucks. So it could have potentially been his first freestyle stadium win, which would have been huge. And so I know that he's bringing his A game here today. He's going 7th in the freestyle lineup. So he said that gives him the opportunity to see what the other trucks are going to do, how they're going to act on this particular track. And I'm guessing that we're going to have an all-out battle again here this weekend in Houston. But we also have Monster Jam happening around the globe. Of course, we have stateside events, but we have taken Monster Jam down under to Australia, where they've been for the last couple of weeks. So talk to us about some of that action.
Okay, so we invaded Melbourne, we also went to Sydney, and for the first time ever, we went to Gold Coast, where we have some amazing driver lineups. Now, Melbourne and Gold Coast, we had 2 stadium events in one day, so a lot of action happened. I know you've been to Australia, I've been to Australia, it's been a great time, and it's so cool to see some of our drivers. It's so cool to see how far Monster Jam has taken worldwide.
Absolutely. Monster Jam makes memories here in Houston, Texas, but all the way around the globe. And in Australia, we debuted some of our Marvel Monster Jam trucks, like Iron Man, like the Amazing Spider-Man, like Thor. So it was a really big moment. And if you'd like to keep up to date with all of that action, you can follow us on all of the social media handles on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, monsterjam.com. Okay, the talk of the town right now is one of our biggest events of the entire year. It is the Superstar Challenge. That is right around the corner. I know everybody's gearing up for that event. What are you most excited for?
Hey, it's Team Nitro versus Team Neon. So it is a team battle. They're going to be battling it out for bragging rights. That's happening in Anaheim, California, November 11th. And what I'm most excited about is it's going to be my first time. We had an All-Star Challenge back in Las Vegas a few years ago, and now they're bringing the Superstar Challenge, which is still team-based. I remember back in Las Vegas, it was fire and ice, and which was pretty cool. So I'm excited to see some of the new drivers, some of the drivers that never saw All-Star Challenge back in Las Vegas, to come to Superstar Challenge and see what they can do to represent their team. I know Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, he just got his box, his announcement, and he's going to be representing Team Neon. So I think that's really cool. What are you excited about?
I'm excited that this is an event that's really unlike anything else. Instead of one driver going against another driver and trying to win a single title, we're team against team. And as we know here at Monster Jam, that is what we are all about. We're about teamwork. We're about family. And so this is an event that's unlike any else. You're going to see racing, you're going to see freestyle, but also you're going to see best trick, which I think is such an exciting competition to be able to see. And who knows going to take home the best trick title. But if you would like to join in on the fun when it comes to the Superstar Challenge, that's taking place November 11th in Anaheim at Angel Stadium. And of course, you can be up to date with all of that at monsterjam.com.
Listen, the excitement in the air, Monster Jam is here. This is one of the things that we circle on our calendar, and we look forward to it all year long. Cannot wait for these trucks, man. I'm so glad you guys are all here joining us. Thanks to the Monster Jam people for giving us the deals. Now it's nothing but showtime, baby. Monster Jam right here in Houston, Texas. Let me hear you.
Monster Jam fans, I am here with 3 Monster Jam fans that are excited for tonight's event. State your names. Cameron.
My name is Andres.
Andres, and?
Kaysen.
Kaysen. Okay, I'm going to start with you, Andres. How many Monster Jam events have you come to?
I have been coming to Monster Jam ever since I was 3 years old, and I've always been a big fan of Gravedigger.
Oh, big fan of Gravedigger. Now, why is Gravedigger your biggest fan, that you're a big fan of Gravedigger?
Man, I love Gravedigger. I've always been a fan of him, especially around Dennis Anderson when he was driving around that truck, and I always remember all the moments that he has created, all the big air, the backflips, everything. And now, when I'm watching it now, the memorable moments never stop, and I love Gravedigger so much because he inspires me of what I am today, and he's just the best driver out there, and I know he's gonna wreck it tonight here in Houston.
I like your energy. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Cameron, I'm going to come to you. I see that you're wearing an Toro Loco hat, but you're wearing a Megalodon shirt. Now, who are you going for tonight's event?
Wildside.
Wildside. So you're not wearing any Wildside gear. Now, why are you going for Wildside?
Because I like whenever he does flips.
He does flips. Are you expected to see any flips tonight?
Huh?
Are you expected to see any flips tonight?
Yes.
All right, we'll hope for it. Now, last but not least, let's turn to the camera right here, buddy. Say your name one more time.
My name's Kason.
Casey, now, how many Monster Jam events have you come to?
I've been to 2 Monster Jam events.
2 Monster Jam events. Okay, so we have 12 Monster Jam trucks. Name your top 3 favorite Monster Jam trucks and go.
Gravedigger, Toro Loco, and Megalodon.
Megalodon, Gravedigger, and Toro Loco. Now, between those 3, who do you want to see win?
Gravedigger.
Now, why do you want to see Gravedigger win?
Because the truck looks cool and he does a bunch of flips.
Flips, okay, looks like we have some more expectancy of flips. Well, I want to thank you 3 for joining me. Thank you so much for being here today. Monster Jam fans, I'll be your fan host in the stands. If you see me, come see me. You might get your chance to become on the video screen.
Well, Casey, we need to talk a little bit about these drivers, especially the ones that the fans want to see. And we're going to start things off with some of our drivers. They had practice yesterday. We had a little bit of breakage, and we also had some things leading up into practice. So talk to us about some of our trucks.
Well, I think that when it comes to Houston, Monster Jam has a long-running history here. Many of these drivers have been here many different times, and something I think to consider, especially since we have a new track design here today, is that if you take a look at the track right now, you'll see the track construction crew turning over the top layer of dirt so that it gets nice and slick, good conditions for Monster Jam racing. But for those of you that were down on the track for the pit party, you'll notice that that dirt down there is not moist, it's not squishy, it's actually really hard packed. And that is something that we saw yesterday in racing practice. So Colt Stevens was trying to cut a corner nice and tight, and the dirt actually caught up to him. He rolled over, and because the dirt's so hard down there, it ended up causing some damage to his truck. Multiple floor link bars had to be replaced. He had some body damage, he had some chassis damage, and I think that that's something our drivers really have to remember, that if they roll in racing, if they roll in the skills challenge, and something happens to their truck where they're out for a whole competition, then that's really going to hurt them when it comes to points. So I think today's going to be that perfect balance of taking risks, but making sure that you're in every single competition. But let's not talk about what broke yesterday. Let's talk about what is running perfectly, and that's Caleb Blood and Soldier Fortune.
Most definitely, she had the second fastest race pass. It was a sub 23 seconds. It was 22 and some change there. And Armando Castro, we can't leave him out. Armando Castro, El Toro Loco, had the fastest race time with a sub 22 seconds. So he's in the 21 mark as well. Kayla Blood, I don't know about you, but I'm excited to see what she can do out on this track here for racing. Let's talk a little bit about the performance-wise, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing a lot of drivers here that are veterans of the sport, that are very confident out there, that are taking big risks, and we're seeing them have big rewards as well. Something that I thought was interesting that one of the drivers talked to me about today was the berm when it comes to the racetrack, is trying to kick that back end around. You can't just drive a 12,000-pound truck around a corner. You have to kick the back end around to keep that speed up. So I think that that's something that's really interesting when it comes to this particular track design. We've got a lot more action coming up with you here in just a few moments.
Well, I'll tell you, it is sometimes you get rough. I had to take care of myself. That's when I bought this car. And when they found out I had bought me a tractor, there's people come from everywhere. So when you get through with this job, I need you to come to work with me.
Hammer the throttle and power out. Westgate Resorts and Monster Jam are teaming up to give you the ultimate Monster Jam fan giveaway. Scan the QR code on the screen and enter for your chance to win a piece of the legendary Gravedigger. Plus, you'll be entered to win $1,000 toward your next Westgate vacation. Enter today for the ultimate Monster Jam Superfan giveaway.
Join the daring adventures of your favorite Disney friends at Disney on Ice presents Find Your Hero. Playing NRG Stadium November 9th through 12th. For tickets and show details, visit DisneyOnIce.com.
Monster Jam Superstar Challenge is coming to Angel Stadium of Anaheim for the first time ever on November 11th. Now, Monster Jam fans, you can see your fan favorite trucks and drivers in this friendly Monster Jam team competition, where superstars face off in racing, freestyle, and best trick competitions with the bragging rights on the line. Plus, we'll be attempting our most epic stunt yet. Now, the fun starts at Expanded Pit Party. Now, don't miss this high-action fun, and we can't wait to see you in Anaheim, November 11th, for the Monster Jam Superstar Challenge. You can get your tickets at monsterjam.com.
Get ready, SoCal.
Monster Jam Superstar Challenge is coming to Angel Stadium for the first time November 11th.
It's the only Monster Jam competition where it's team versus team and bragging rights are on the line.
It's high-octane family fun, all in one action-packed day.
We can't wait to see you in Anaheim. Coming to interview, bud?
Well, we're now joined at the desk right now by Zach Garner, driver of Wildside. We got Chris Kohler driving the Rod Ryan Show Monster Jam truck. Gentlemen, welcome up here to the round table. You guys are all second-generation drivers, and our lineup is stacked full of second-generation drivers. So you're kind of representing them up here at our round table. So, Chris, I want to start with you. Your dad has a huge personality. He has a long legacy. He's a true veteran of this sport. So for you to really kind of branch away from him, to make your mark, to really prove to the rest of the world that you don't have to be in the shadow of your dad, what have you had to do to really set yourself apart? And do you think you've accomplished it so far?
I mean, I'm getting there. You said job's never done, but he left really big shoes to fill. But the biggest thing for me is I am my own self. You know, I'm not just Mr. Excitement Jr., you know. Obviously, it is an honor to be his kid, to carry on the legacy that he's created. Any second-gen driver can stand behind that. To do what your dad has built and build off of that even more is amazing. But it's kind of hard to get lost in that shadow. You know, you want to be able to make your own marks. You kind of just do your own thing, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
Zach, I want to throw it to you. I mean, you're so young, and I know you and I have talked a lot about just being as young as you are and knowing the path that you wanted to take at such a young age and knowing where your career was going to go before a lot of us, and maybe I'm dating myself even, you know, at your age, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and here you are making a career at such a young age. Did you ever think that this was the path, especially your father kind of just giving you this career?
You know, honestly, growing up, I always loved going to Monster Jam events, but once the opportunity arose to start driving, I was like, I'm taking it. You know what? It beats driving a tow truck, having an office job, but here we are living out our dreams. Like Chris said, it's definitely hard to fill those shoes of our fathers, but you know what? We come out here each and every single weekend to make them proud, so show them what we got.
Zach, I wanted to ask you one last question. Last weekend, freestyle was insane. You had one of the best freestyles I've seen you ride in a stadium probably in your career so far, and you only lost to probably what might be considered the best save we have seen in a very long time. What are your thoughts on freestyle, and how happy were you to, I mean, I know you didn't win, but how happy were you with the performance that you gave?
You know, that performance last week was absolutely amazing. I was stunned I held the lead for that long. I expected so many other great drivers to go out there, beat my run, beat my score. But you know what? The best thing, I got to do it with my dad in the crowd as a fan. Basically, one of our crew guys, John Gordon, was on the radio absolutely hyping me up. We landed the backflip, kept going with the blown tire, and he's like, go, go, go. And I never stopped till they shut me off. But you know what? Coming in second place to Ryan Anderson was absolutely a dream come true. I watched those guys growing up, but being able to come out here and compete with them, a whole nother ball game.
And Chris, I want to kind of stay on that same topic. I want to talk about freestyle with you because when it comes to freestyle, of course, we're looking for big air, we're looking for really cool moves, but one of the things that you can't always plan for when it comes to freestyle is the saves, is the unexpected. How do you plan for the unexpected? How do you adapt out there on the track in this competition?
You can't really plan for it, you know. I mean, you kind of set yourself up in certain positions and kind of get yourself ready to do a save, but for the most part, it's just putting yourself in that spot. It is driving crazy. It is letting it kind of hang out and let everything just happen and then naturally go from there. The more you do it, the more you get more comfortable. So, you know, a lot of the veterans that have so many saves under their belt, they're kind of more used to it, whereas newer guys, you know, you get into a position and you get a little lost, but sometimes it works out for you.
The last couple of weeks, we've seen you crushing it behind the wheel of Brutus, but this weekend, you are representing a local legend, the Rod Ryan Show. So how proud does that make you to go out there and represent the Rod Ryan Show?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I mean, Rod Ryan gave us a call, needed someone to represent him. Wasn't the Brutus last week, but they switched me out, which had worked out good because I ended up wrecking that body. So I got a brand new body on there, got the Rod Ryan crew shirt, everything. Super excited to do it, represent him, you know. It's a beautiful, beautiful stadium, you know, so I'm excited to be here.
And Zach, I've got one last question for you. I have to ask you this because earlier when Aiden was talking to the fans, he went to one of the fans and said, hey, who do you want to win? And without fail, they just said, Wild Side. How proud does it make you to know that you have left your mark on this sport and that you have fans already anticipating your win here in Houston, Texas?
You know, those two boys came through my line. They said it was his first ever Monster Jam event he's ever been to. So I tried to make my impression, and it seems it stuck. But you know what? All those kids that come through my line asking me how I got to drive, how I got to do this, how I got to do that. You just got to follow your dreams. No matter what anybody says, you just got to keep on going, keep on pushing, and you can do whatever you put your mind to.
Very well said. One thing is for certain, you folks are in for some fantastic action here today in Houston, Texas. How about it? Let's give it up for Zach Gardner, Wild Side, and the Rod Ryan Show, Chris Kohler.
Tape. Total tape. Easy, fast. You taped it. Holy taped it.
Total Tape, the construction adhesive tape, features an exclusive mesh reinforced formula for instant grab and permanent hold.
Let's try it. You totally taped it. Wow, you nailed it. I mean, you taped it. You totally taped it. Taped it. Taped it. Taped it.
Ask for Total Tape, the construction adhesive tape.
Lucas Oil, it works.
I run Lucas Oil.
Doesn't matter if you're on the water,
Driving to work, or competing in a sold-out stadium, Lucas Oil products will help you get the most out of your vehicle. Monster Jam has run Lucas Oil in and on our trucks for over 10 years.
we wouldn't run anything else.
Lucas Oil, the official oil of Monster Jam.
Epic trucks, epic stunts, Monster Jam. Can you conquer the Big Air Challenge? Blast in the big air. Try to reach the top. Ooh, so close. Take aim and launch. Boom! You hit the top and blasted the fireworks. Bring in the Monster Jam larger than life lineup. Switch the stunt. Gravedigger goes the distance with an epic long jump. Megalodon flies high. Long jump or high jump, Monster Jam trucks win. New Monster Jam Big Air Challenge. Under truck seats sold separately.
Well, in the 2023 season, we debuted the biggest and newest apex predator. It is ThunderROARus. So now let's take a look at the video board for the making of this brand new Monster Jam truck.
Every year in Monster Jam, we try to give the fans something new. The inspiration of ThunderROARus really started with kind of asking from the fans, right? They've wanted a dyno truck for a long time. We wanted something that was different, something that was our own. So going into this decision to make ThunderROARus, we put a lot of different inspiration into different designs and different styles and looks at dinosaurs across the whole scope of dinosaurs. But we really wanted to incorporate some of the backstory that went into the creation of ThunderROARus. So with the Red Lightning that really went into the creation of this truck and the storyline. So it started with ThunderROARus. We wanted something that really said dinosaur, and metallic dinosaur. So putting the roar in the middle of ThunderROARus made a lot of sense. So once we have a design that everybody's really, really happy with, it really starts with creating that concept and getting that art design down. Once we have an art design approved, then we put it into a mold. Once the mold is made, then we can really get it out into a life-size form and try to put it on the truck. So once a mold is made and we actually have a body in the shop, then it goes into the decals and the painting. We really wanted something that spoke to the robotic nature of ThunderROARus and what it is, but we also wanted something that popped, right? So we wanted to keep with the metallic, hence the silver gray, and then we wanted something red and orange, very vibrant, to be able to make it stand out. When we were looking at the design of this truck, we wanted something that was different than what's out there. The mouth is a really big, important part of that. So during the pit parties, you'll be able to see an actual dinosaur with its mouth open. We wanted some scales, we wanted some spikes. Obviously the teeth are a very important part of ThunderROARus. Everything that goes into making this not just a dinosaur, but a robotic dinosaur, really kind of tie it all together. So selecting the drivers of ThunderROARus was really important. Keith Speller, who manages our driver program, did an amazing job of picking two driver athletes that would really come out and really own ThunderROARus. And that was really important to us, to have two drivers like Tony and like Cole that would really put their all into the truck. The most rewarding thing with ThunderROARus is really seeing the event. Knowing that fans ask for a dinosaur truck, and we know that kids and adults alike love dinosaurs, we expect this IP and ThunderROARus and more ThunderROARus after that to be able to grow and be able to help Monster Jam grow into the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw him up on the video board. Here he is in the stands. He is your hometown competitor here from Houston, Texas. I'm talking about Cole Stevens behind the wheel of ThunderROARus. Here we are, the fans are around us. I'm pretty sure you're excited to be competing in your hometown tonight.
There's no doubt about it, baby. This is Houston, Texas. This is Monster Jam. I'm absolutely pumped. I'm so happy to have my entire family here. I love you guys. You show up each and every time. I cannot wait to get this truck out on the track.
I'm loving that energy because the Houston Astros won last night, and I'm pretty sure you're going to take home a win tonight. Now let's talk about competition. We're debuting a new racetrack here in Houston. You had practice yesterday. What are some things you learned and adjusted going into tonight's competition?
Hey, I'll be honest with you. We ain't holding back. We ran it yesterday in practice. Unfortunately, I rolled the dice, came up snake eyes, rolled the truck over, but that's not going to stop us. I got the best UNOH technicians in the back. They got it dialed in. We're ready to go today. But I'll tell you what, Houston, I need your help. I need all my family's help. On the count of three, I need the loudest, meanest roar you got. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Cole Stevens and ThunderROARus. Right now it's time to meet Corey Rummel behind the wheel of Megalodon.
He's going to be crushing it behind the wheel of Megalodon. And Corey, we're down on the track where all the action is going to take place. We have got to talk about this obstacle right here behind us. So this is the 8-pack. This is where we'll see some of our drivers attempt to do a backflip. What's really interesting about how they build the ramps is that it really comes down to a mathematical equation. How the ramp is built is going to determine how the truck is going to act. So talk to us a little bit about this.
It's definitely every city we go to is a little bit different because, as you can tell, it's an 8-pack, and there's a little bit of secrets involved that you can't even see, like the steel ramps that are buried in the dirt, and just the consistency of the dirt's different. We might hit this little ramp and blow back a foot and completely throw everything out, or it's going to be built awesome because our Monster Jam dirt crew is absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to see what happens, but man, it's a crapshoot. I love hitting this. I love hitting any backflip. So we're all here, man, to win. We're going to see what this thing does.
I love that you just mentioned the dirt because every time we go to a new city, we actually use local dirt. The track feels different. The trucks act different on every track. And we were just talking about the fact that you've been to Houston too many times than we can even count, which will work to your benefit. These fans know you. These fans know your truck. And also, you know how your truck is going to act out here on this particular dirt.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, every city is different, but the dirt is the same every year. And I've been coming here to Houston for I don't even know how many times, and I absolutely love coming to this place. And I know what this dirt has in store for us, and I can't wait because I've gotten a lot of freestyle, a lot of racing wins at this building because you guys are absolutely amazing, and I love Houston.
You're the last driver that we're talking to before we get into the action, and so what do you have to say to these Monster Jam fans before we get into the competition here today?
Monster Jam fans, are you guys ready to watch Monster Jam tonight?
How about it, folks? It's Corey Rummel, Megalodon.
Monster Jam fans, you know that to be the best, you've got to beat the best. That's why I love BKT tires. Whether you're working in the field or doing extreme sports like me, BKT tires are a winning formula. My BKTs are rough enough and tough enough to get me through any competition. When it comes to strength and power, nothing else compares. Take it from me.
Epic trucks, epic stunts, Monster Jam. Roar into Monster Jam
the college experience I wanted, but in the trade I needed.
70% hands-on, no out-of-state tuition, and accredited degrees in trades that are in high demand all across the country.
Without the education, without being able to go out there and learn hands-on, I wouldn't be here without you.
Learn more about your future at unoh.edu.
Monster Jam is now on MAV TV, and you can catch classic Monster Jam episodes airing every Saturday morning, and at 7 p.m. Standard Time, you can catch all the new Monster Jam episodes airing on MAV TV. Of course, you can check out Arena in 30 and our official Monster Jam podcast, Inside Monster Jam with Scott Jordan.
Monster Jam is on MAV TV. Witness all-out racing, massive stunts, all the exhilarating and big air action. Oh, that was huge. All in one place. This is a new era. This is Monster Jam.
Well, Monster Jam fans, we have an amazing lineup ready to battle it out for an overall event championship. So right now, Casey and I are going to be going through who you're going to be seeing competing here tonight. We're going to kick things off with our 5-time World Finals champion, Adam Anderson, driving Gravedigger. He's won 8 Monster Jam race competitions this year and comes in with a 45-17 racing record. Our second competitor is Chris Kohler and the Rod Ryan Show Monster Jam truck. Now, Chris Kohler is a second-generation driver. We just saw him, and he is the 2023 Rookie of the Year. Our third driver coming up, it's Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. He comes in with an amazing racing record of 91-49 with 21 overalls. He has been just electrifying this fall season, especially in stadiums. And of course, he's going to be somebody that you're going to definitely want to watch here tonight. Now let's talk about Ryan Anderson, driving Son of a Digger, boasting a 43-19 racing record. He's a 4-time World Finals champion, and last week in Arlington, Texas, he was your overall event champion. Now, Casey, who is our next 4 competitors?
As we continue through the bracket, it's going to be Cole Vennard in the Black Pearl, who has a racing record this season of 21 wins against 23 losses for 2023. Taking on Jamie Sullivan in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. She is a rookie this season. She was a 2023 Rookie of the Year nominee. Whoever wins that race will continue into round 2. Your next competitor in round 1 is Colt Stevens in ThunderROARus, who is your 2023 World Finals Freestyle World Champion from right here in Houston, Texas. He's going to be taking on Zach Gardner in Wildside. Zach has an insane racing record this year of 67 wins to 46 losses. And again, the winner of that race will continue into round 2. Kay, talk to us about the round 2 matchups.
All right, we're going to see Kayla Blood and Soldier of Fortune, your 2023 Extreme Air Award winner, coming to you here from Lafayette, Louisiana. She's also a retired U.S. Army veteran as well. And we're going to see Corey Rummel driving Megalodon, boasting a 46-36 racing record, your 2022 Breakout Driver of the Year. And he's also representing Team Scream. We got 2 more drivers left, Casey. Who are they?
These next 2 drivers have an automatic advancement into round 2 because they were one of the fastest pastimes, and that's going to be Ryan Disharoon in Shaker. His truck is literally geared for racing, that low center of gravity. We're going to see if he can pull off the win and advance to the semifinals. Last but not least is John Gordon in Bad Company, once again, who has an automatic advancement into round 2, coming out of Hiram, Georgia. The winner of that race will advance to the semifinals.
Well, we've got some exciting competitions coming up, and for more on what you're going to see here tonight, let's throw it up to the video board for Track X.
As we
continue getting ready for tonight's competitions, it is time now for Track X, brought to you by Spin Master. Epic trucks, epic stunts, Monster Jam. Our first competition is Monster Jam Racing. We will start with both Monster Jam trucks staged and ready at the starting line. After you see two amber lights, the final light will go green, and our drivers will hit the throttle and begin navigating this challenging track where the race will be won in the turns. That's where the skill, seat time, and precision of our drivers will come into play. Each competitor has the option to take the turn in a smooth, wide drift, never taking their foot off the gas, or they will slightly pump the brakes and hit a tight, narrow turn, avoiding the obstacle and accelerating to the finish line. Next up, it's the Great Clips Skills Challenge, where our superstars can either make 2 attempts at a 2-wheel maneuver or hit an all-inspiring Monster Jam donut in which Zombies Barry Musauer holds the Guinness World Record. Tonight's final competition is freestyle. Our Monster Jam drivers will compete to earn the highest fan score at judgeszone.com by performing the most dynamic freestyle run consisting of big air, momentum, and wow moments. One of the wow moments you might see is a backflip. Our drivers have perfected the backflip ramp as they line up their Monster Jam truck at the right angle, accelerating at nearly full throttle, and begin pumping the brakes as the truck defies gravity off of the ramp, ending with an astonishing bounce on its BKT tires. This has been Track X, brought to you by Spin Master.
Monster Jam fans, one of the coolest things about tonight's event is that you have the power of providing the official score for each and every one of our competitors, just like these fans right behind me. In 2 out of the 3 competitions, you will be submitting your scores using judgeszone.com. Right now, we are going to do a trial run. So if you can hear my voice or see me on the video board, take out your cell phones. Open up your web browser and then type in judgeszone.com, or we have a QR code right there. You can aim your camera and it will take you to judgeszone.com. And once you're there, it's going to ask you to type in a 3-letter code. And that code for tonight is HOU. And once you type that 3-letter code in, you can pick a finger, any finger, slide it up or down to any number that you want. So as a quick reminder before it shows up on the video board, judgeszone.com, a 3-letter code, HOU. Pick a finger, any finger, slide that BKT tire to any number that you want, and then hit submit, just like that lady right there. I see you on judgeszone.com. Now, Monster Jam fans, once you hit submit, it's going to take the average of all of your scores submitted, and that will be the official score for that competitor. So when it comes to the Great Clip Skills Challenge and Monster Jam Freestyle, you'll have 20 seconds to lock in your scores after the completion of every one of our competitors. Now, turn your attention up to the video board. We're going to see the average of all of your scores submitted for this trial run. 7.692. Once again, judgeszone.com takes the average of all of your scores submitted by you, the Monster Jam fans. Now, Monster Jam fans of Houston, we understand that you grew up with Monster Jam, and you may have your favorite trucks or your favorite drivers, but that's great. But when it comes to the competitions, these athletes are counting on you to submit your scores fairly and accurately based off their competition run. Not the name of the truck, not the popularity of the truck, or the truck's driver. So let's do a bullet point breakdown recap. Here we go. Judgeszone.com. 3-letter code is HOU. When it comes to the Great Clip Skills Challenge and Monster Jam Freestyle, you will have 20 seconds to lock in your scores. Are you guys ready for Monster Jam?
Bryce King coming in from inside Great Clips, getting ready to get this mohawk right. But I need you to get your phones out right now so you don't miss out on a great offer from Great Clips. Scan the QR code to make sure you get $2 off on your next Great Clips here. Looks great, feels great. See you guys soon.
Turn your passion into a career at the University of Northwestern Ohio. From high performance to automotive, diesel, and everything in between, you'll find a degree that will get you a job.
It's 100% the college experience I wanted, but in the trade I needed.
70% hands-on, no out-of-state tuition, and accredited degrees in trades that are in high demand all across the country.
Without the education, without being able to go out there and learn hands-on, I wouldn't be here without you.
Learn more about your future at unoh.edu.
Well, for the last time here tonight, I'm going to bring back my co-hosts Aiden AD and KCG, and we're going to be talking a little bit about who we think might take home the overall event championship. Keep in mind that this is our last stadium event before we hit the road to Anaheim, California for Superstar Challenge. Remember, that's happening November 11th. Get your tickets at monsterjam.com. Now, Aiden, you have been in the stands with the fans. I know you have been getting a lot of feedback from them on who they think might be the winner, but I want to know, who do you think is going to take home the hardware, and what are our fans saying?
Well, I'm going to start off with the fans since I am the fan engagement host. I'm going to go down right here. These Monster Jam fans are going to tell us the truck that they want to see take the win for tonight's overall event championship, and go.
Megalodon.
I like Great Digger.
El Toro Loco.
We'll come back to you.
El Toro Loco.
We'll come back to you.
No, what about some digger?
All right, what about you?
Grave Digger.
Grave Digger, one more. Megalodon.
Megalodon.
Megalodon. All right, so the fans have spoken. Now, when it comes to my prediction for tonight's overall event champion, you know, I'm going to do 3 times the charm. For the past 2 Monster Jam events, I've said Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. So I'm going to go for Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. Last weekend in Arlington, Texas, he was very close to taking home the overall event championship, but it was Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger that took home the win. But I predicted his win in Glendale, Arizona. Like I said, 3rd time is the charm. So I'm going to say Armando Castro and El Toro Loco.
Well, Aiden, that's a really good pick, a very strong pick, especially with the history he's had these last couple of weeks here throughout our stadium series here, our little stadium mini-series that is. And, of course, the fans there, super excited, lots of different picks. Well, Casey, you have been back talking to all of our drivers, our crew chiefs there from UNOH. So what are your thoughts and feelings on who might come home with the win?
Well, we have quite the lineup here this weekend. We have veterans of the sport. We have legends of Monster Jam competing here. We have world champions that are in the lineup. But I'm going to go with a little bit of a wild card. I'm going with Zach Gardner in wild side, and that's because Zach he's a go-getter. He's a young driver. He's an innovative driver. He's not afraid to take big risks. And a lot of the time, we see those big risks turn into big rewards. He was the Rookie of the Year in 2021. He has 5 freestyle wins under his belt and 7 overall event championships under his belt on the season. And I think that tonight, he's going to be standing on top of the pod with the trophy. Last weekend, he was 2nd in the lineup for freestyle, and he held onto that lead through 9 different drivers. That is such a feat that is so hard to do. And I think that has pushed him just enough to be able to grab the overall event championship here this weekend.
Casey, a huge and strong pick, also backing it up with a lot of different stats as well. And I'm going to go with Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. He won last weekend in Arlington, Texas, and I think really he's just going to carry that momentum onto this track. He feels very, very confident. I talked to him today about this new course and what he needs to do to really solidify and make his presence known here on this new track. So I really appreciate both you, Casey, G, and of course Aiden AD, and of course all the fans out there as well, helping us out with all those predictions and all those picks. Well, that will do it for Monster Jam Trackside. You are in for an incredible night of action. Once again, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the home of your Houston, Texas, and welcome you to Monster Jam.
beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. Tick, tick, boom. Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must keep a lot of diamonds. I don't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's not quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, go in peace.
Houston, the time has come to honor this nation and its heroes. We ask that you use anything that lights up, like your cell phones or anything else that lights up, and light up NRG Stadium as we give honor to our nation's active military, veterans, first responders, and frontline workers. Good job.
Houston, Monster Jam was built right here in the USA. We are truly fortunate to live in the greatest nation on earth and celebrate its strengths, freedom, resilience, and innovation. We are the United States of America. Presenting our nation's colors is the Houston Fire Department Honor Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, here to sing our national anthem, please welcome Houston native and performer at Pete's Dueling Piano Bar, DJ Cheryl.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so gladly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Houston, it's time to meet tonight's competitors. From right here in Houston, Texas, he's your 2023 World Finals Freestyle World Champion, Colt Savins, ThunderROARus. Your second competitor is John Gordon, Bad Company. This is Ryan Disharoon, Shaker. He's your 2023 World Finals High Jump World Champion, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Please welcome Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune. Coming to the track, it's Cole Menard, the Black Pearl. Up next, it's Zach Garner, Wild Side. Your eighth competitor is Corey Rummel, Megalodon. Up next is Armando Castro, El Toro Loco. Please welcome Jamie Sullivan, Monster Dalmatian. This is Adam Anderson, Grave Digger. Representing the Rod Ryan Show Monster Jam truck, Chris Kohler. Houston, this is Monster Jam.
We're going to kick tonight's event off with Monster Jam Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is round